There is an absolute epidemic going on right now of fakeness. I don't know about you, but I am so tired of AI everything. My husband was just watching a video on TV, and it was just actually like some kind of Star Wars thing, but it was like some AI generated video. And I said, like, I honestly cannot even watch stuff that's AI anymore. I'm not interested in AI photos. I'm not interested in anything. I use AI for lots of areas of my business, but I don't want to consume any AI content. And YouTube is even showing less AI to people right now, which I think is really cool because I personally just am not interested. I want to see real life. And beyond AI, there's also just people showing up so fake in Instagram and on YouTube. They're not showing the real life parts of their life. And I have been so guilty of it in the past. I would like shuffle every, yes, I am a minimalist light person. I have less stuff. But right now, what you see in my room right now, that is me not caught up on my laundry because I am not perfect at being caught up on my laundry. I hate folding, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm actually going to change the sheets on my bed to some very cozy new flannel sheets because I absolutely have been just desiring flannel that is not all pilled up because my current sheets, they're all pilled up. So I did some research and I found that LL Bean apparently has like really good sheets. So I got some Black Friday sale sheets. So I'm going to put those on, and then we're going to get into a little bit of real life. So if you're new here, my name is Robyn. I am here to help you simplify your life and to live more cozily. Welcome to my home on the side of a mountain. I don't have my tea right now, but I invite you to get cozy, work along with me, or just hang out. Let's go.
I don't know what it is about fakeness that bothers me so much, but it just gets under my skin. And maybe it's because I'm over here living my life, doing the hard work, doing folding, doing the actual work, all of it. And I'm like, people are just like getting away with not doing the work. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just like, this is just unfair. And I 100% don't appreciate it. I have a cat behind me playing with a bag. We've had this discussion on some live streams in the past, and I just want to bring this to the channel here in this video and talk about that one thing that you hate to do the most. Now, if you could choose anything, somebody to be a maid, somebody to cook for you, somebody to launder for you, maybe somebody to garden. I can't remember all of it, but which thing would you choose? Because for me, 100% it would be somebody to do laundry and or clean if at all possible. I have friends who are just like, please just like have somebody cook for me. I hate cooking. For me, I honestly, like, I don't mind cleaning that much. I really don't like laundry. Things like face gloves and towels, they're easy, but I hate folding. Some people, they'll fold happily and they just won't put it away. Me, I will not. I hate folding.
Come on, Pickle. Are you coming in? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Oh, you want to check everything out.
They love the closet for some reason. And if you're new here, you might be like, what is wrong with that cat? I have got 3 cats who have cerebellar hypoplasia. One is not that severe. Crumpet, who is the orange one, he's bigger. And Pickle, who is the kitten, they both have it more severely, and they're fine. It's a virus they get in their brain it's a virus their mom has in utero that affects the kittens. And actually, Plumpkin, the one who's not that bad, he only has like 6 or 7 teeth that he was born with. But basically, it affects the cerebellar system. So their, coordination's off, they fall down, but they're in no pain. They're very comfortable. And we make sure that because we foster for this company, we foster for this charity called Catnap, and we love getting little kitties. And we ended up, our very first batch was Plumpkin's family, and all of his siblings died but him. And so we needed a friend for Plumpkin, so we got Crumpet, who was much worse. And then we ended up fostering Pickle, and we just love him so much. So we love our cerebellar hypoplasia, CH, or wobbly kitten cats.
That was a brief intermission about my cat, who is adorable and hiding under the bed, and I love him so much. But then he was touching those towels, so they went back in the laundry because I am not drying my hands or my face on that thing that kitty cat paws were on. Anyway, the other point I want to make about folding is that it just like, I mean, I don't mind throwing stuff in the washer. It's great. It's fun. Just throw it in there. I have new soap. I absolutely love it. It's from this company called Mint, who are a Vancouver Island company. And the detergent, it rinses so nice. It does have a very light mint fragrance, which if you don't like, don't, you wouldn't want it. But I always double rinse my stuff anyway because I have really sensitive skin and one of my kids has really sensitive skin. But I cannot handle using Tide laundry detergent anymore. It is just the fragrance is just too much for me. So I really have enjoyed Mint. And actually, the other thing is that I started using their dishwasher detergent. That was the main thing because I noticed that a lot of our dishes, especially plastic dishes, but even like plates. Like I would literally like take a plate out of the dishwasher and be like, what is this taste? And like lick this plate and be like, nope, it's got a really strong, gross detergent feeling. And I hate that. I don't like that. So I ended up finding their stuff. I took back my Finish laundry detergent to Costco and they refunded fully. It was like $40 worth of detergent. I was talking about this with my group, my Tidy Mighty Club. We have a live Zoom call every month, so I was talking to them, and one of them was like, "Take it back. Costco will take anything back." Because I was like, maybe I should donate it, but there was just so much, and I'm so happy about it. Now, before we go on, I do need to talk about making these beds. So, first of all, I have fond memories of flannel sheets and being a kid. My mom would put them on when it was winter and it was, I was growing up in the Kootenays. It was much colder, but even right now it's pretty chilly. And these are the world's coziest sheets. I love them so much. They're from LL Bean. But I did want to say Pickle just had to be involved with the process. He thought it was just so fun to be right up in there and just hiding under everything and jumping all around, and he just loved all of it.
This little kitty is just having the most fun time. Um, I love these very cozy sheets. They are so soft and I can't wait to sleep in them. I think one of the biggest problems I have with fake is, first of all, I don't want to consume it. I just don't. I said to my husband, it is actually repulsive, is maybe the strong word. But I think that it's like I'm going to make, right after this, I'm going to go and make a delicious Christmas star that my sweet friend Lisa developed. And I'm so excited. But the thing is, a lot of people, they feel like they have to do things perfectly. There can't be any kind of like variation, and why even bother is an issue a lot of people run into sometimes. And I often talk about how much I hate perfectionism, and that I think that perfectionism was invented by the devil. So I don't want him destroying my bay blanket. But anyway, and the problem is that we see a lot of this fake stuff and we think it's real and it's not. So I'm gonna go, we're gonna make a delicious Christmas star and do a little bit of chatting after that. Okay, today I am doing something really fun. I'm actually trying out a recipe from my friend Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. I actually just got off a podcast with her and I was talking to her about this because it's this beautiful cinnamon star. And I asked her how I could make it with whole, like freshly milled flour, because my husband, we're all trying to be healthier, and the freshly milled flour is better if you're trying to lower cholesterol versus like the regular flour will raise it. Anyway, so I am going to start milling some flour, and then I need to start cleaning up the kitchen. I actually am in kind of a rush because I have to pick up my son in half an hour, and I need to get the dough to window pane test so then it can ferment overnight. So we are going to start milling the grains and then start cleaning up the kitchen and then start making this dough. So let's go.
I have to say, it is a little bit frustrating trying to come up with healthy things that I can make for my husband, well, for everybody. And the thing is, like, he'll complain and be like, this is so unfair. And, I wish I could have this, but I can't. It's bad for me. And I was like, husband, my darling, it's bad for everybody. So do not worry about it. I know that it sucks and I get it, but it's actually kind of forcing me to as well. And I love it. Now, I am just getting this ready. And yes, I did get some shell in there and I was very annoyed, but that's okay. And this process, it's so easy. A lot of people, they feel really um, frustrated or intimidated, I guess is a better word, with sourdough. And I was telling Lisa and I were saying this, like, it's so easy. That starter that you can see that I use, it honestly is, you don't even need to keep one that big. I actually keep a really small jar normally. I think it's like a what's it called, a pint jar, but I will even keep a much smaller one, no problemo. It just, you only need like a tablespoon and then you can grow it very quickly. Mine, it's a very healthy, strong starter and I love it. So every time, usually what I'll do is I'll make bread or I'll make bagels or whatever, and I will just take it out of the fridge, feed it, and then use it, and then feed it again and put it back in the fridge. And when I say use it, I mean like 4 hours later or whatever. Or sometimes I will just take what's in the fridge because I've fed it before I put it back in the fridge, use it. Like I don't even, sometimes I'll let it come to room temperature, sometimes I don't. And I will just go ahead and use it for whatever I'm making, and it is totally fine. It depends on what you're making. Some things don't even use additional yeast. This particular recipe, it did use additional leaveners. There's baking soda. I think there's a baking powder. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's in there though. And you'll see later that I kind of messed it up, but well, just briefly. And then I made it right. I always try to make things right. But if you if you need one that is just really, really active and happy and healthy, feed it and wait for it to be bubbly and then you can use it. But I have not had any problems. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. And I love that. The only thing is that you need to be very careful when you are washing it because you don't want it going down your drain. And there was a little bit there that I had that started to, but I caught it in the drain trap because sometimes you just can't catch it or whatever. So I went ahead and just put that there and let it sit overnight in the bowl in a warm spot.
Good morning. It is the next day. So my dough sat overnight. It rose a little bit, not a ton, but that's okay because we do add baking soda and baking powder. I was just looking at the recipe this morning and I see that this actually makes 2 stars. So I'm actually going to, and then you divide them up into 8 and then you make 2 stars. But what I'm going to do, divide it up into 8, freeze 4. I'll probably end up making the second one tomorrow, knowing this family. But I don't think we need 2 at once. I think it would be great if you were giving them as gifts. But for now, I'm just going to freeze half and then bake it up. And I'm just going to put away the breakfast stuff. And yes, I will share with you my breakfast concoction, just not right now. So let's get.
So I love using a scale. A scale is the dream come true for baking, for cooking, for everything, for weight loss, for it all.
There's too much math involved for me right now. I'm just like, I did good the first time, but now I need to keep doing math.
But yes, there is math involved. And I'm not ashamed to say that sometimes I just pull up my calculator, but I do try to do it in my head first because I think that is what you are supposed to do. But here you're going to see a little mistake.
Something you should know about me is I and my husband, we have ADHD, and I always forget. So I forgot that I do still need to add baking soda, salt, and baking powder to the recipe. I think I literally just said that. However, I did portion out the other balls, that's fine, but I am going to add half of the recipes, baking soda and salt to this, and then when I defrost the other ones, they'll still defrost faster because they're smaller, which is good, and then I can incorporate all of that stuff. So all is not lost. I'm glad I figured that out now. I need to portion them out again. That's totally fine. This is just, I'm glad I figured it out now, or it would have been ruined.
It's so funny. I literally forget something in most recipes. And I will say to myself, like, make sure you check the recipe first. The worst is when I'm cooking just from my head and I forget something. And my husband, he will just laugh at me because that's the way it is. I made some bread with some of my freshly milled flour and I forgot the salt. And I remember being like, this bread is so bland and I couldn't figure it out. And then at one point, I was like, you know what? I don't think I put the salt in. And I realized, no, I had not. So here we are eating our bread. Of course, my husband, he's not even adding butter to his toast. I am because I'm at that point where I'm not willing to give up butter on my toast under my peanut butter, but he puts peanut butter, just plain peanut butter, like the crunchy Adams, which is the natural kind, and we're adding salt to underneath and above. It was just like getting through it all was just something else. But anyway, here I am. So I liked to just make them into as round as I could. You'll see later it doesn't really matter. And again, Lisa, she's so good, like the way she writes up her recipes. And this dough, it gets very springy and that's normal for gluten. So if you just let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes, it totally relaxes, which is really nice.
Oh my gosh. So my son, he's got the weirdest hours. He's in grade 11. So I was like, oh my gosh, I could just put this baking powder and baking soda in, and I know you want to get that in the oven as soon as you can. And I could have run and got him, but then my husband just got up after his night shift, and I was like, can you please go? Can you please, please, please go? And he went. He's the best. And I was like, I'm making a special treat. So now I can roll this all out. So I'm excited to continue.
He's trying to get in the bag again, you guys. Anyway, so here I am, just sort of keeping rolling these out. And then you will see right here just how much bigger I could get them. I couldn't before. They were so elasticy. And that's the power of gluten. That's the thing that upsets so many people's stomachs. And I definitely feel like my stomach sometimes is a little gluten insensitive, sensitive, not insensitive, sensitive. And I actually feel like this, first of all, the freshly milled stuff is incredible. You are keeping everything there. We're not getting rid of anything. We're keeping all the fiber. We're keeping all of the vitamins. There is a little bit of heat during the milling process. And I did it with my Vitamix before. So give that a go if you can get your hands on some grain berries to try first. But it is so filling. And unlike other things that have wheat in them, which usually make me hungry after, not this stuff. This stuff, anytime I use the freshly milled stuff, it doesn't. This, of course, did have added sugar, but even then, I think it's one of those things where you can actually kind of walk away where often you can't if it's like traditional wheat or like traditional flour. So I use that little egg separator, that ceramic or pottery thing, whatever. Are they the same thing? I don't know. Anyway, I used it just to make like a circle in the middle. And then you just do quarters. And then you turn those quarters into 3, I think. Is that right? I think we ended up with 16. I can't even remember. But this is where I really was struggling, is the churning of this, I had to stop and look at the blog to see how she did it. And she's right. Like it's very forgiving. You don't have to worry about it. And really, it doesn't matter. It's still going to taste really good. And of course, I want to do like a really pretty egg wash, which is always just so satisfying. And, I think my favorite thing about this particular item is that it is just so different. What a great thing this will be. I think I might bring this to my great aunt and uncle because they messaged me and were like, we don't know if we'll see you. And I did end up putting foil on top because it was browning. And I think it's my little toaster oven because I love my little toaster oven. But it does tend to brown things a lot. I think it actually runs a little hot. I should probably get a thermometer for my ovens because my big oven, I have 2. And that's just the house came. People say to me, why do you have so many ovens? I don't know. It's just the way the house came. I ended up getting that little oven because, first of all, it's cheaper than heating up a big one. I am cooking with the big one tonight, but for this particular thing, I mean, really, if it's something small, I can end up cooking just the smallest thing in there. And I just made my husband a cup of tea, and you see him just grab it out, and he was so happy. It was so good.
Talking about being perfect, as I mentioned before, first of all, this thing, the flavor is perfect. And I did it, as I mentioned before, with the freshly grilled or freshly ground flour, and I used olive oil, so it's much heart healthier, and it is so good. And I'm gonna go leave a review on Lisa's recipe. You should too. You gotta try it. I will link it below. And again, I think this is the perfect example of why we need to not strive for perfection. Because did you see that star that I made? She wasn't that pretty, but she tastes delicious. I highly recommend you give making that star a try. It was so good. And no, it did not have to be perfect. Mine looked so weird, but it was delicious. Now, I think you would absolutely love this video here. This is about tidying up the kitchen and then a couple of fun things we did. I hope something great happens for you today. I hope that you also subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.